at some point, he realized what happened, and it hit him hard.
On a quiet November afternoon in Maxton, North Carolina, a father's rage simmered over, shattering the peace of a small town street and forever changing the lives of those closest to him. Dedric Page, a man already grappling with his past, never imagined that a moment of fury would result in such catastrophe. As he fired into the car where his estranged partner Renee Page sat, it was a single split-second decision driven by anger. But when the dust settled and the wail of sirens filled the air, the horrifying reality settled in, a reality that even Page himself would struggle to comprehend. For amidst the chaos, a single discharge had found an unintended target. Maxton, a small tight-knit town roughly 100 miles southwest of Raleigh, became the unlikely setting for a story that would resonate far beyond its borders. At the heart of the story is 7-year-old Quazariya Williams, a young girl with a bright smile and an active life. Her teachers and classmates remember her as a sweet child who loved cheerleading and had a promising future. 31-year-old Dedric Page, Quazariya's father, had a complicated history marred by prior legal issues. With past convictions related to firearm possession, he was on bond for a recent weapons charge at the time of the incident. On November 10, 2024, Page encountered Quazariya's mother. Though the specifics of their relationship troubles are unclear, it is evident that the two had a contentious history. At approximately 2 p.m. on East Graham Street, it was there during an argument with the child's mother that Dedric allegedly aimed his firearm toward the vehicle she was in, intending to inflict harm upon her. Allegedly unbeknownst to him, his young daughter was in the car along with 3 other individuals. Within seconds after discharges erupted, Quazariya was struck. Witnesses reported chaos and fear that immediately ensued as Dedric continued firing into the vehicle. As of this video, it remains unclear if he realized his daughter was inside, but the outcome was a tragic one. An urgent call to 911 was made at precisely 1:57 p.m., reporting a child with a discharge wound. Emergency responders arrived and attended to Quazariya. Despite their best efforts at the scene, the 7-year-old's condition required further medical intervention and she was transported to Scotland Memorial Hospital in Laurenburg. Once at the hospital, Quazariya received additional care. However, sadly, despite the medical team's attempts to save her, she succumbed to her injuries. News of her passing quickly spread throughout the community, leaving Maxton residents heartbroken as they learned the identity of the young victim and the circumstances that led to the heart-wrenching outcome. Following the incident, law enforcement quickly turned their attention to Dedric, gathering evidence and testimonies from those at the scene. Witness statements and forensic evidence led them to deduce that Quazariya's mother was likely the target and that Page's discharges were not meant for his daughter. Shortly after, police arrested and brought him into custody at the Robeson County Detention Center. The charges against him were severe, including first-degree fatality, attempted first-degree fatality, discharging a firearm into an occupied vehicle, and additional charges related to firearm possession due to his status as a felon. The swift arrest brought a sense of justice to some, but the loss of a young life weighed heavily on everyone involved.
The chief tells me that he was the one who broke the news to the child's father that he had killed her.
The calls went out.
Maxton Police Chief Sherrod Johnson says Sunday seemed pretty routine until they started getting calls of shots fired in the area of Graham and Patterson Streets.
And I was stopped right here.
Johnson says while on scene, they heard multiple gunshots and encountered a very distraught mother who needed help.
Saw her, the child in his arm, in the mother's arm. She placed him down. He started first aid. I started talking with the driver and the passenger to get lookout information.
An officer administered CPR on Quazariya, but she had a very weak pulse. The little girl died a short time later. Chief Johnson says he broke the news to Page that his actions claimed the life of his precious little girl.
When they first brought him in,
Hey you. Yeah, you. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on another video.
I don't think he was aware that the child had expired or passed. But at some point, he realized what happened, and it hit him hard.
The entire town mourned Quazariya's passing, with members of the community expressing grief and disbelief. At Townsend Elementary School, where she was a student, staff and classmates paid tribute to her memory. The school released a statement in her honor, emphasizing her vibrant spirit and love for cheerleading, marking her as a bright young girl with potential. Her classmates and teachers remembered her friendly face, which had brought joy to their lives. This made her loss even more painful for those who knew her well.
School administrators said today on Facebook, quote, always on our minds and forever in our hearts.
Real sad. I hate to know when any baby's hurt.
I was very sad. It's heartbreaking that a little child has to die over nothing.
Family members also shared their grief, struggling to come to terms with the events that had unfolded so quickly. Quazariya's mother, who survived the attack, was left to struggle with both the trauma of the incident and the loss of her child. The family organized a GoFundMe campaign to cover funeral expenses, finding solace in the community's outpouring of support. The link can be found in the description below. Dedric Page faced his initial court appearance 2 days following the incident on November 12th. During the hearing, a judge reviewed the severity of the charges and ultimately denied bond on counts related to first-degree fatality and firearm use in occupied property. He was also held without bond on attempted fatality charges, but received smaller bonds for other charges related to firearm possession and discharging within city limits. The story of Qua'Zariya Williams speaks volumes of how quickly life can change in the face of violence. Her life, full of promise and potential, was cut short in a moment of anger and recklessness. As her family and community continue to mourn, they hold on to the memories, finding strength in her spirit. The ongoing court proceedings will determine Page's fate, but for those who loved Quazariya, justice can never fully replace the loss they have endured. I will be following the outcome of this case, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. May the family and friends of Quazariya Williams find solace in the happy memories, and may her soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.